Hello guys! Today we install a steering wheel spacer on this Honda Civic Type R. Okay, let's start with disconnecting the battery so we avoid warning light being on at the end of the procedure. Then you find a Torx screwdriver and you have to unscrew two bolts at the sides of the steering wheel to remove the airbag unit. Okay, they are very simple to find, to unlock and to unscrew, one and one on the other side. Then gently pull out the airbag and you have two connectors to remove. One for the airbag itself, which needs some attention and patience to find the right way to unplug it. It may have a secure clip. Then there is the fasten that is for the horn, and you have to. It's very strong. It's very hard to remove. You have to like hug the steering wheel, like I'm doing, and hold the terminal metal part and pull, and it come out. Okay, remember that the airbag is a little bomb, so put it on for example, on the side seat, far from children. Go inside the steering wheel and disconnect that big connector, which is for the steering wheel commands. And now the steering wheel is electrically off the car. You have to unscrew the central bolt so you can pull out the steering wheel, the whole steering wheel. Have a friend holding the steering wheel while you give the first hit to unlock the bolt, because it's very hard. And when the bolt is nearly outside, be sure, like I am doing, that the steering wheel go back and forth in the column, because sometimes it locks on the column, and if you pull it out, you can damage the wires and hit your face. Now the steering wheel is out, and we can compare it with the steering wheel spacer. As you see, the spacer replicates the core of the steering wheel, the bore with the spline, and all the slots that make possible to locate the pin and the wires that go across the steering wheel. And on the other side we see the shaft of the spacer, which fully replicates the shaft of the steering column. Okay? Now the spacer arrive at your door pre-assembled. You have to separate the two parts each other and store apart the steel part for a moment, and insert the aluminium spacer in the steering column, like the way I'm doing. You have to keep the flat slot of the spacer horizontal. Okay, look how long are the wires of the airbag. And now that the spacer is in the car, you can lock the same bolt that was holding the steering wheel in place. Okay, it's done. Now insert the steel shaft in the steering wheel, paying attention that the two flat spots match. You see, now they don't, because the number of teeth of the spline is uneven. So in one way they match, and that's the way you have to insert in the spacer. If you turn it 180 degrees, you will mismatch one tooth, and at the end of the procedure you will you will drive the car and you will find the steering wheel misaligned. like when the wheel alignment is not okay and you have to repeat the procedure. Now inside of the steering wheel I am making a trick to gain some length for the wires inside the steering wheel itself. You have to loosen a fastener inside the steering wheel to gain a bit of length, so you can easily connect the big white connector to the car. Now gently insert the steering wheel in the shaft of the spacer. Pay attention that the two horizontal slots must match, and insert with your little finger the white connector in its socket. It must make a click. If it makes click, then you are done. You are well done. Now you have to tighten the bolt which is supplied with the kit. You can use a torque wrench to set up the proper torque, which is 60 Newton meters. If you don't have the torque wrench, you can just give a strong elbow shot. You see the torque wrench click immediately, so it's not enough. It's not needed that much force to tighten the bolt. Now insert back the airbag in place. You have to pre-align the airbag to the steering wheel and gently insert the connector in the airbag. It is one way, so you cannot insert in the wrong position. Do the same with the horn wire, and just check that the airbag goes in the steering wheel free. It must have the same mobility it had before. Tighten back the two screws. You don't need a lot of force, and check that the horn has the same mobility. Okay, now you're done. You have to reconnect the battery and turn on the car to check everything is fine. You see that you can still reach the stalk levers. You just have to get used to the new way, and all the existing regulations of the steering wheel still work as before. Everything must work as before, okay? Turn on the car and check that you don't have warning lights. This specific car I've made the video on was for track use, so it has the airbag light on, which still have to be cleared. Here I checked the stalks and the buttons of the menu of the dashboard. You see, the function work. They all work or they all don't work if you didn't well connect the connector, but you see, here they work, so we are done. You may find out that the ESP, the stability control system warning light are on because the car understands that you mess with the steering wheel while it was off. So you just have to drive or to clear the warning lights, and you clear this problem. Okay? Now we are done. Enjoy our spacer and see you next time. Bye bye.